I'm not gonna lie, it's been a day, so I'm not super feeling this, so I'm just gonna run through it quick. But it's another Wednesday, so it's a time for another weekend reading. Let's just jump into what we had last week. First up, we had Batman Urban Legends, Volume 1. This was a decent read, not gonna lie. It was okay. We had Star Wars, The High Republic, Volume 2, The Heart of Drenger. Drenger? Still not quite sure about that pronunciation. It was an okay read. Then finally we had Green Lantern, Season 2, Volume 1. Which was also an okay read. As you might guess from my tone, nothing really stood out to me this week. None of it was bad, it was all fine, but that's it. They were all just equally fine in their own way. So, I guess my favorite of the week was Green Lantern Season 2, Volume 1. It's by, the story is by Grant Morrison and a couple different artists, particularly Liam Sharp and another one called Zermanico. The two different artists stood out, but they were both good in their own unique ways. It really felt like it was more than just two artists, though. But yeah, no, it was just the two. Weird. One of these guys must be able to make their art seem very different from time to time. But whatever. Here's the thing with Grant Morrison. He writes stories that don't seem like they're connected, but it's usually part of one big overarching arc that, as it comes to the conclusion, he'll sort of wrap all the different random threads together in some sort of way to make them connected. And it's hard to tell if he planned that from the beginning or if he just figures out a way to do it at the end. But he does that a lot. He does that in many different stories, which can make his stories kind of hard to follow and maybe at times even seem like they're not that interesting. But I've done this enough to know that there has to be some connection, and there's little hints dropped here and there about things that are going on in the background that I think will lead to a much bigger story because even though there is another Green Lantern book starting, I think there's still at least one more volume of this, if not more. So I think it's leading towards something. I just can't quite tell what. But, there's a bunch of different stories that brought to conclusion the story that happened last time of a new universe being rewritten. That came to a close with the whole Black Stars thing and Collector Mew, whatever it was, or not Collector, Controller Mew. And that story came to conclusion pretty quickly and almost sort of anticlimactically. And then it brought back eventually they even brought back the antimatter universe, Hal Jordan becoming those sort of weaponeers, antimatter lantern type guys, and they introduced for some reason the Guardians left to go fight in something called the Ultra War, and then there was a new, which I think is what the big storyline this is all leading up to is about, and then there was a new collection of Guardians created. And it's just, the great thing about Grant Morrison is that it's just random crazy ideas thrown out. He just has crazy fucking shit that he just throws the fuck out and he just puts out there, and just you're just supposed to accept it as normal, because he just writes it as if nothing weird is being said whatsoever. It's something can be frustrating about him, and it's also kind of great about him. So yeah. I don't know. My description of this wasn't that great, but it's a decent read, and it was my favorite. I like Green Lantern. I like Grant Morrison more often than not. I like Grant Morrison. I'm just often confused by him. But when I can finally make sense of the shit when the shit he's doing makes sense, or when I can make sense of it, I usually do enjoy it. So that was last week. What we got this weekend? Well, let's see. We got Beta Ray Bill, Argent Star. I'm not sure if this is a new series or a mini series, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. The second most famous wielder of Mjolnir. Beta Ray Bill is tired of life in Thor's shadow, and with Bill's own mighty hammer, Stormbreaker, recently destroyed at the Thunder God's hands, Bill finds himself at a crossroads. The Corbinite must strike out in search of his destiny, assuming he can first defeat a nullified Fing Fang Foom. Oh, okay, null, as in the symbiote god. Bill begins a hunt for Odin in hopes of resurrecting his golden weapon, but Stormbreaker is never coming back. Nonetheless, there is one place where Beta Ray Bill could restore his full powers. The Allfather of Nothing offers the Corbinite a path to immortality, but at a price not even a god can afford. Who will join Bill on a dangerous and deadly cosmic quest? This could be interesting. It's, let's see. Collecting Beta Ray Bill 1 through 5 by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. Not familiar with the writer, but I think I've seen this art before in another book I like. So this could be cool. I like it. We'll see. Next up, we've got The Immortal Hulk, Volume 10, Of Hell and of Death. This has been a good book. The acclaimed epic run reaches its horrific end. The Gamma monsters are back, converging one by one on New York City. Who can stop them now? Who can save us from the Immortal Hulk? Who can save us from the Immortal Hulk? The Avengers will give it their best shot, but last time they destroyed an entire town while fighting the Hulk. Now they're in the middle of New York, about to take on a very different kind of monster, and it's become personal. In the wake of this earth-shattering confrontation, a shaken Hulk will turn to the one person who always understood him. It's finally time for truth to be told. But will it be Betty Banner who tells them, or the Red Harpy? And how will they affect the eternal life of the Immortal Hulk? Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Collecting Immortal Hulk 46 through 50. Feels like it's more pages than that. By Al Ewing, Joe Bennett, Rue Jose Bellardino, Bravo, and Paul Mounts. This has been a good read, so we'll see. Now here's another one I've been looking for. Bring up, kind of, you'll see what I mean. The New Authority, Superman and the Authority. Oh, Christ. The New Authority is here. Sometimes even Superman finds a task almost impossible. Sometimes even the last son of Krypton needs to enlist help. Some tasks require methods and heroes that don't scream Justice League. So Clark Kent, the Metropolis Marvel, seeks out Manchester Black, the most dastardly of rogues, to form an all-new authority tasked with taking care of some business on the sly. Not only will Black know the right candidates for the team, but if Superman can make him behave himself and act in a service of the greater good, then Clark Kent can prove literally anyone can be a hero. They'll have to move quickly, however, as one of Superman's most dangerous villains has his own plan and his own team. From superstar creative team of Grant Morrison and Michael Yannon. That one. This miniseries brings a new team that will affect the world of Superman for years to come. I think this is just a miniseries. Doesn't look like a particularly long one either, but it's one I've definitely been interested about. So, Could be good read. It could be anything this week. I have no fucking clue. But I anticipate the reads this week will be better than the ones last week. At least that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, normally this is where I would go to a third act. But as I've mentioned before, I got no third act. I'm out of things to talk about, out of issues to discuss, out of questions, out of abandoned plots. Just can't think of anything. Oh, I had a thing a while back where I talked about how Image, some of the employees at Image formed their own union, a comic book workers union, and for non-writers and non-artists, and they voted. They finally did their vote. I think it was only like 9 people, but they finally did their vote, and they voted by a majority to form a union. They did an official vote, and by a majority they formed a union. So now we'll see if Image keeps giving them shit about it or not. Kind of show their hypocrisy. Their whole argument about it's about creative freedom. It's about the rights of the creators. It's like, well, what about the rights of your workers? But that's a whole other issue. I've talked about it before. Anyways, that's it. That's it for this week. I'm going to just try to make these shorter. I'm not going to lie, I'm losing my interest in them kind of, so whatever. I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling it this week. Maybe I'll feel better next week. I don't know. It's been annoying lately, but that's other shit. Whatever. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope you enjoy your reading. Have a good one.